So how are we all doing?
Clicker.
Thank you for reminding me. So this is what we're talking about today. We had ourselves an election, an event of large proportion. One good thing is that there's no more ads. I'm thrilled by this, not having to avoid the TV, but now we're here in the aftermath. And some of us got the outcome that we wanted. And some of us got the outcome that we did not want. And there's feelings around both of those positions, and I want to speak to both groups. If you feel that you've won and if you feel that you've lost, there's good stuff in here for all of us. First, I want to talk about the people that feel that they have won. And I know that for those people, it could be some of you people, it could be some of you guys feel like you won, it could be some of you guys feel like you lost. But if you feel as though you've won, you are joyous right now. You are filled with joy, and justifiably so. This is the culmination of a lot of work, of a lot of intensity, of a lot of passion. And now things have gone the way that you have wanted, and you are filled with happiness and joy. And joy is very interesting. It is defined as the emotion excited by the expectancy of good. And just that expectancy of good has many, many benefits. And we're going to talk about a couple of those benefits. It reduces anxiety and depression. It's hard to be depressed when you're joyful, right? It also encourages a growth mindset. This darn clicker. Yeah, it's the clicker's fault.
Yes.
It encourages a growth mindset. And it increases optimism and a sense of possibility. It also creates a positive ripple effect. When you're around someone that is full of joy, that joy is kind of infectious, yes? You're like, wow, what are you so happy about? I'm happy that you're happy. It has that effect. Yeah? It also fosters spiritual growth and connection. And it promotes compassion and empathy. Joy does all of these things. I am a proponent of joy. I want more people in the world that feel this way, that are experiencing these benefits. No matter who they are, I want more joy in the world. Okay? Joy is also a quality of God, which means it's available to all of us in equal measure. So, what I want for the people that feel as though they have won, I want them to feel all and experience all the gifts that joy has to bring. All of them. These and so many more that help uplift, that help transform, that help compassion grow within you. I want that in everyone. I want everyone to experience that. So if you feel as though you've won, embrace the benefits of your joy now. Embrace all the benefits of your joy and let them in. Let them transform you. Let them uplift you. Let them put your mind into places that you didn't think it could go. So that's the message I have for you if you feel that you have won. If you feel that you have lost, that's the other side of the coin. You're feeling angry. You're feeling depressed. Maybe you're feeling a little hopeless. Maybe you're anxious over what is to come. Maybe you're fearful. And all of these are understandable considering the rhetoric that we have just spent the last 2 years enduring. And it's been longer than 2 years, but this particular election cycle, we've just been hammered with the possibilities and the probabilities and the absolutabilities of what is coming if this person gets elected or if that person gets elected. So now that it has happened, now that we're feeling all that, and yes, there is a bit of grief going on because the outcome did not go the way that some people have planned and some people have wanted it to go. But I'm here to tell you today that the election itself is over. But God is still here. God is still here every much as God was as it was before the election. God is still present. Good is still ever present. Love is still ever present. As much as it has ever been. This is not the end of anything. This is not the end of anything. So, if all those things are true, what do we do now? You know, how then shall we live our lives in this climate that we find ourselves in now, post-election? One of those things that you might be encouraged to do is hope. And the hope is okay, but Ernest Holmes cautions us about hope and saying that hope is good, it's better than despair, but it's a subtle illusion and is an unconscious compromise. Hope is kind of a hedge. It's like, well, I know the love is there, I know that God is there, I know the good is there, and I hope it all works out the way that it should, I guess. You know, it's our way of just sticking a toe in to belief. But we want to stick our whole bodies into belief. We want to believe in love, in the power of love, in the power of oneness. How do we do that? How do we shift from hoping to being? Because that's where the real power is. The power isn't in, I hope it works out. The power is in being the change that you want to see. And so that's what we're talking about today. In every conflict, have you ever heard the term that there's 3 sides to every story? There's my side, there's your side, and then there's the truth. As we have conflicting sides, I'm asking you to choose the side of truth. In every conflict, there are warriors. Yes? People that are rising up and actively going at each other for one side or the other. But there's also something else happening with these conflicts. There are diplomats. There is diplomacy happening. There are people talking behind the scenes trying to work this out and come to some sort of peaceful conclusion. Bless those diplomats. You never hear about the work that they're doing behind the scenes to bring an end to a conflict. But they're absolutely vitally necessary. They're absolutely vital in ending a conflict and bringing about peace. And so I'm calling upon you to be spiritual diplomats. Yes, there is something for you to do. So, what does that mean? What does spiritual diplomacy mean? Well, there's 6 different things that we can do in our lives to actively represent peace, to represent spirit, to have a hand in the ripples of good that are going out across the world that are affecting our friends and our neighbors. The first thing we need to do, though, is we need to get the elephant out of the room. We need to talk about them. You know who they are. The ones that don't think the way that we do. The ones that don't think the way that you do. You know? What do we do about them? Because they're everywhere. Okay? Really? There are doctors, there are lawyers, there are engineers, there are scientists, there are our friends, they are our family. They're the people that we rely on every single day that we come into contact with. What do we do about those people? The first thing that we do is realize and accept the fact that there is no them. There is only us. All of us together. No matter what we're thinking, no matter what we're believing, no matter what we're doing, we are one. That is the truth and the fact of it all. That's what it all boils down to. There is no, then what do we do about them? No. There is only us. This universal family. Can be somewhat dysfunctional, but family we are. So, once we got that out of the way, the first thing we need to do is see the divine in everyone. First thing, no matter who they are, no matter what they're doing, and no matter what they're believing, and how it conflicts with our beliefs, we must see the divine first, because that is the truth of our being. That is our foundation, that we are all equal and of God. And no matter what somebody else says to the contrary, those are our beliefs. We know that it's true. So we must stick to that. So that's the first thing that we do. The second thing that we do, and this is active, okay? Practice active, non-judgmental listening. And this is a big one.
Yes.
This is a big one that is very difficult to do, turning on the TV and listening to what comes out of it. And trying to listen with non-judgment. But we're talking about in our everyday lives, in our everyday conversations. Talking to our neighbors. Listen deeply and attentively, setting aside any judgment or need to be right. Allow others to express themselves fully and seek to understand their perspective without immediately responding or defending your own. We are in a hurry to take up arms to convince people that what they think is not right and what we think is right. That is just going to keep things going. Be the peace that you represent. Be the peace that you want to see. And that doesn't mean don't get into a dialogue. You can get into a dialogue, you can debate. But always debate from a level of love. You're talking to someone that you love. When we're talking to our loved ones, it changes things a little bit, right? It softens things. It makes you a little bit more open, a little bit more available to hear their side, their point of view. Treat everyone with love and respect. And at the end of the day, if you part ways having a difference of opinion, don't let it change the fact that we are one. Don't let it affect your love. Don't let it change who you are. Number 3, hold peaceful and harmonious intentions. Before entering any potentially difficult conversation, set an intention for peace, harmony, and understanding. How many times do we do this when we're getting ready to encounter someone that has a differing opinion? Okay? For me, I'm like Rocky. I'm training. I'm getting my debate muscles ready. It's like, okay, yeah, bring on the debate because I am ready. Right? But that's not the only way. We don't have to go into every conversation, into every interaction with our dukes up, ready to defend and change the other person. Again, we want to focus in on love. And by setting your positive intentions, we align our minds with the highest good for everyone involved. No matter what they think, and no matter how they feel, and no matter how you feel. Our philosophy emphasizes that our thoughts and intentions are creative. So, by consciously directing our intentions towards peace, we are creating peace. By setting our intentions toward peace, we are creating peace. I would love to be able to come up and tell you and give you something easy to do. It's easy to resist. It's easy to argue. It's easy to get in with a bunch of like-minded people and to just say, okay, it's just us. And then talk about things that are only important to you and just talk crap about those people that are on the outside. You know them. The them that we discussed. It's so easy to do that. It's so easy to turn on a TV and say and turn on a show that's making jokes about the other person, about the other side. That's great fun. It's easy to do. But these times are times of great transition. And it's time for all of us to take part in the solution, to take part in bringing us back to one, which is what we are in the first place, to represent love. It's going to take a little bit of effort on your part, but I guarantee you that effort pays off. Immediately, it pays off. So continuing on, release the need to control or convince. Release the need to control or convince. That's a big one, huh? We want to argue and hey, we want to win. We want to talk to that person that has that differing opinion, give him some information, him or her some information, and then have them have a light bulb go off above their head and say, you know what, you're right. How many times have we ever heard that? It's rare if that's what we're holding out for. But that's not necessary. We can take a gentler path. Just in the way that you talk about some of these issues. Just in the way that you listen. It's noted. It's picked up on. People may come to you because of your peaceful nature and ask you questions about the other side that they're afraid to ask anyone else. It's like, I'm curious about this, and I want to talk to you about it. I just don't want somebody to come down on me and tell me what I must feel. I just want to talk to somebody about it. Be that person. It's a very soft use of our power. but we don't have to control. Approach each interaction without the desire to control or change another person's views. Instead, focus on understanding their perspective. Knowing that true harmony arises from acceptance rather than force. People that have differing opinions are automatically, they got their dukes up. Especially if they have an unpopular opinion, or an opinion that is really opposed by a lot of people, then they're always ready to fight. So they may express their opinion and then put their dukes up. We need to put our arms down and listen to people. Listen. And as we do, you will hear suffering. You will detect love. You will detect care. You will hear so much more when you listen. There's not just some idiot spouting off something that you don't agree with. Like I said before, these are our friends, these are our neighbors, these are people that are in our lives, important people that are in our lives that we cannot just separate ourselves from. So exercise that spiritual diplomacy and listen. And lastly, affirm unity and oneness in every situation. Every situation that you go into it, every conflict, every conversation, go into it with oneness in mind, with equality in mind, with peace in mind. Regularly affirm that we are all connected and that harmony is a natural state of relationships. Use affirmations such as, there is only one mind, one heart, and one love expressing through all of us. The joy emitting from the people that feel that they have won is the same joy. There's only one joy. It's the same joy that we all have access to. Another affirmation is divine harmony unites us in understanding and peace. Divine harmony unites us in understanding and peace. So this leads us to our home play for today. And home play assignment is going to be a toughie. Okay? So number one, I'm recruiting you. I'm recruiting you all as ambassadors of love. What do you do as an ambassador of love? You exercise spiritual diplomacy. You do and live all of these things every day. You see the divine in everyone. You practice active and non-judgmental listening. You hold peaceful and harmonious intentions. You release the need to control or convince. You speak from a place of love and truth. And you affirm unity and oneness in every situation. That's the job description. Do I have any volunteers? You don't have to volunteer.
I'll try.
But it depends. Do you want a peaceful world? I'll ask that first.
Yes.
Do you want I can't hear you. Do you want a peaceful world?
Yes. No.
Do you want a more understanding world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want a more compassionate world?
Yes. Yeah.
Then we need you. We need you. We need you to volunteer and to sign up to be an ambassador of love. Represent love in every move you make, in everything that you do. We need you to bring about the world that we just agreed that we want to see. The peace, the love, the compassion. We want that. So we must be that. Yeah?
Yes.
So come on, let's sign up. Who wants to be an ambassador? We're taking applications now. You're hired. And you start now. Right now. At fellowship time, we're downstairs. We're having our coffee. You're an ambassador of love. Whether you're talking to someone that doesn't agree with you, or if you're talking to someone that does agree with you, you are an ambassador of love. Number 2. Yeah, there's more than just being an ambassador. You got more work ahead. Trust your ripples. Trust those little ripples of love that you're sending out, those ripples of peace, those ripples of compassion. Trust that they are going exactly where they need to go. Trust that they're spreading to who needs to feel and experience them. To people that you can see and to people that you can't see. You could be engaged in a loving conversation with someone, and then someone 2 aisles over in the supermarket, wow, those guys have a differing opinion and they're not killing each other. I didn't know such a thing existed. And then they go off, and then they go to see what that's all about. Maybe they practice that in their next conversation. Well, maybe I could listen a little bit more and, I'll do what that person was doing that I didn't even see, that conversation that I overheard. That's how ripples work. Ripples move through walls, directly into hearts. Trust that your actions as ambassadors of love have an effect. Trust the ripples that go from you and know that you're affecting the world. Number 3. This is a big one. Remember, there's no them. There's only us. All of us here together, living, loving, learning, choosing, believing. That's what we're all doing. One great big universal family. There is no them that have to be dealt with and figured out and quieted. And no. There is only us. Let us embrace each other and be on the side of love. And I just want to say, if you are an activist, if you want to get out there and you want to protest and you want to do something and you want to work for one side or the other, do that. I want to encourage you to do that, but do it with heart. Do it with love in your heart. Don't do it fighting against an enemy. Do it promoting love. Okay? All right, Ambassador Corps?
All right.
All right, you guys are on the job. Okay, I just clocked you in. So, let's...
How much do you get paid?
I was gonna ask that. You get paid in love.
The question, in case our online audience did not hear, the question is, what are we getting paid? And the answer is, you are paid in peace. You are paid in the peace that is in your heart. When you go out with the intention to love, with the intention to listen, with the intention of compassion, those things only bring peace. No matter who you're practicing them with, they only bring peace. And the more you practice them, the more peace that you will experience, and the more peace exudes from you. So that is your payment. In peace. So let's take that into prayer.